I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan. I not just listened, I studied him to try and learn from him.
Okay.
Because I think of this as a career. How do I become a better interviewer? What does he do well?
What does he know?
What's his approach? And I've done that with multiple interviewers, and there's a few I've learned a lot from, but I'm a big fan. And I listen to a lot of shows. I usually do 1 or 2 a week, and there are times where I'm listening and I think, I don't agree with this. I think this is wrong.
Right.
I think maybe some
he spreads misinformation.
Perhaps,
he does.
Yeah. I think perhaps he does.
But you know what? So do you and me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I talked to you about at the start. But what I do believe is he doesn't do it intentionally, and he is trying to pursue the truth.
Exactly.
And what's happened with Joe Rogan is I think he's become so popular because people understand that's what he's trying to do. And he's built, in a world of corporate media and corporate bullshit, which you talked about before, he's building an army of free independent thinkers. And free independent thinkers are a threat.
Yes, but look, let's steel man the opposition to Joe. A lot of these so-called independent thinkers aren't capable of really rigorous independent thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you pull them out of an understanding of evolution. Like, let's say you say, I don't think the neo-Darwinian synthesis is as rigorous as is claimed.
I've been thinking about this.
All right. Somebody goes from saying, yeah, sure, I believe in science, I believe in evolution, 3 minutes later to, dude, the aliens brought us here, and I think evolution is not true, that they just have weird ways of psychically communicating and changing things. Okay, well, you went from being a science believer who didn't really understand the science to being a science skeptic to being a lunatic. And I'm not saying that there isn't, a panspermia theory about depositing life from somewhere else, but you're not a critical thinker. You're not a free thinker. You're unhinged. So there is a real problem with what happens on the Joe Rogan program, just as there's a real problem with what happens on your program and my program. And it's a different real problem than what happens on CNN or a White House press conference. So, Joe is liberating people to think freely, and a lot of those free-thinking people are not getting it done. And the White House is sort of saying, no, we have the right to misinform and disinform. And we're saying, well, you're complaining about Joe doing it. He's not trying to disinform. Sometimes he misinforms, but I've never seen Joe ever, not once, try to disinform like weapons of mass destruction coming from the White House and the Pentagon. Mm-hmm. I think that what they're really angry about isn't misinformation.
Control?
They believe that they have a right to a narrative. Mm-hmm. We are the conductor. Everybody's got a hymnal from which they're supposed to sing. You've got the sheet music in front of you. We want to conduct, and now you're doing something else. We're trying to do Ave Maria, and you're blasting You Shook Me All Night Long, right? Mm-hmm. And my feeling is, first of all, there is a time for Ave Maria. You abused it. And yeah, I don't necessarily want to hear You Shook Me All Night Long at 4 a.m. when I'm trying to sleep. But honestly, I'd rather a little bit of AC/DC than your goddamn disinformation.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.